Hello everybody. Hey, let's just take a look around what's going on in the world, see if there's any interesting. It was supposed to rain today in LA, and it never did. It's been cold though. Cold. I guess it's supposed to rain, well, let's see, Wednesday? Wednesday. All right, forecast. What? No. Does it really change that fast? This was yesterday. It was supposed to rain Wednesday. But Monday, partly cloudy. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Wednesday, partly cloudy. Thursday, sunny. Friday, sunny. Saturday, Sunday, sunny. Sunday, partly cloudy. I thought it was going to rain, man. We actually do need rain. Did you know that LA is actually desert climate? You would think it would be coastal or climate, but nope. It's actually part of the desert. All the palm trees in LA were imported. Grown here to help entice people to sell real estate. Hollywood land was, the Hollywood sign was originally a sign that said Hollywood land. That was put up there to help sell real estate. You could say everything that was done in LA, for example, here's a quick example. If you look at a map, you can look on Google Maps. If you look at downtown LA, the streets are, when you look down from space, you know, when you're in space, the streets are at an angle, almost a 45-degree angle. And that's because whereas most streets in the United States, in comparison, are north and south or east and west. Square. The Kingdom of Spain had rules that they administered when they started a new town, and one of which was the streets had to be at angles like that because they said it was the better use of sunlight on the buildings through the day, more sun, and also better control of the wind, better control of airflow. Who knows? But the problem was LA was growing and people wanted to sell real estate to people from back east who wanted to buy real estate in LA. But it's hard to sell real estate when all the streets are crooked. So in order to make the plots nice and neat north and south, they went to the Jeffersonian method around, now I'm making this up, but let's say the mid-1800s. Just making up history. Might have been earlier than that. So where the streets were like this, right around 1850, they just started making them straight. So Hoover on the west side, which is right near here, Hoover is straight up and down, and then all the streets heading west are straight up and down, and the you know, and the same on the east side. So the reason they did that, to sell real estate. So you could say the entire development of Los Angeles was based on selling real estate, which would be a huge overstatement, but it's fun. It's fun to make up stuff that you don't know anything about. So all I'm doing in this video is just letting you watch over my shoulder as I just kind of ramble through the news and see what's interesting. By the way, did you hear about that Olympic, I haven't seen the Olympics at all, but here, what she just did, talk about a savage, meaning a champion. This Olympic skater, I know I'm gonna get her name wrong, because that's what I do, hit the first, Mireille Nagasu. How do you say her name? Mireille Nagasu. She landed a historic, this is on Yahoo News, landed a historic triple axel. I mean, maybe they're talking about that big time on TV. I rarely watch TV anymore. I gotta watch the Olympics though. a historic triple axel, and I guess she did it in the early part of routine. Talk about coming out in savage style, meaning owning it like a champion. She came out in the beginning of her routine and hit a triple axel. That's like, that's announcing, that's like coming out and saying, okay, here's what you have to beat. Here it comes. Man, pretty good, man. Man. Well, let's see let's see. This will be fun. This will be watch the medal count. What's the medal count, man? All right, here you go. Medals by country. Let's just do golds. Well, let's just do golds. Germany 4, Netherlands 3, Norway 2, Canada 2, United States of America 2. So far. The country with the most overall looks like Norway with 9. Did you hear that story about Katie Couric? Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Katie Couric. Well, you know, you can't blame Katie Couric. You can't blame Katie Couric because, well, you can. But, so this is what she said. This is a quote from the Olympics coverage. Let's see. This is Katie Couric working for NBC News covering the Olympics. Let me see. Let me see. Oh. I didn't have it. Wait a minute. That's a different story. And she's getting a lot of coverage, man. Let's see. Ice skating. Had to do with... It was pretty funny. Yeah, here it is. This is Huffington Post. So, this is what she said, more or less. I'll paraphrase. As you know, there are lots of canals that can freeze in the winter in Netherlands. So, for as long as they've had canals, I'm paraphrasing, the Dutch have used them in the winter to skate from place to place, to have fun and to race around. The truth is, according to this story, Amsterdam, of course, does have canals, and they can freeze in winter, but rarely do. And they don't freeze all winter. Some years they don't freeze at all. So therefore, it would be impractical and inaccurate to say that they use them to commute. Joe, she said it's an important mode of transportation in Amsterdam. So this one guy writes on Twitter, he writes, his name is Jos Duvestein, Duijvestein. How do you pronounce that? Somebody help me out. He says, and this, folks, is why Americans are less bright about the rest of the world as they spread fake news. Another guy posts on Twitter a picture of these guys skating like speed skaters past a windmill. It looks like, is that a fake? It's got to be a fake picture. Maybe not. It says rush hour in the Netherlands. Oh man, that is funny stuff. It's an important mode of transportation. I wonder if Uber and Lyft have an ice skating option in the Netherlands. Do you think? Since it's an important mode of transportation. Oh, that is just good stuff. All right, so we did the medal count. I'm still impressed by this Murray hitting a triple axel. And to do it in the beginning of the routine, like, okay, I'm making a statement. I'm laying down the gauntlet. What? What's this story? This is from Yahoo Sports. The best Zamboni drivers. The NHL. What the hell, man? What the hell happened with this? Because that was a strange story. Let's go back. NHL, yeah. Right. I read this before. The NHL will not participate in the 2018 Olympics, ending a run of 5 Winter Olympics with NHL players. So, now you're saying, what was the reason for that? They didn't want to interrupt their own season to accommodate Olympics. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Okay, so that's a decision they made. But then here's Yahoo Sports talking about how their players aren't here, but their Zamboni drivers are. Technically, they're called ice technicians, according to this story. It looks like a lot of fun, right? To drive that Zamboni, but I guess you really know what you're doing, because it'll swing around, it'll slide a little bit, so you have to have the touch. And in South Korea, they didn't have enough people to do it right, because they don't have a lot of skating in that country, in South Korea. So they asked the Zamboni drivers from the NHL to come over. That's a fantastic story. Not all of the, there's some non-NHL ice techs, but a lot of them are from the NHL. Okay, here's the 3 principles of great ice, according to one of the ice techs. Shave, wash, and flood. Those are the 3 principles of great ice, he says. You can see, you really have to know what you're doing. You need to know the temperature of the ice. You need to be able to read the ice. See? It looks like fun, though, driving that Zamboni around, right? How did Zamboni become the Zamboni? How did Zamboni become Zamboni? Was there no other... How come there's no other... Nothing else is even close. What? The Zamboni... This is from Zamboni.com. In 1949, Frank Zamboni introduced the world's first ice resurfacing machine. Their U.S. plant or headquarters is in Paramount, California? What? Does that sound right? Yeah, Paramount, California. Why is in California? Why is Zamboni in California? You're going to say, where's Paramount? It's according to blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Paramount is down by Compton, south of Downey, and then east of Compton. I was just down there. I was. I live downtown. It's not that far from there. Oh, man. That's an old school company then. Well, they said 1949. So, let's read that story a little bit. What? Let's see. This is from Zamboni.com. Driven by our founders' commitment to innovation, we continually challenge our product, blah, blah, blah. The perfect sheet of ice. The hydraulic transmission delivers full power and speed, even while the machine slows for corners. Its unique down pressure system combines unparalleled shaving and snow conveyance, producing a superior ice surface. You know, sometimes we sit around and we talk about snow conveyance. You know, we debate the different techniques on snow conveyance. Then they care about your air quality. Their line of electric resurfacers and edgers. Man. Well, good for Zamboni for talking about owning an industry. Is there any other competitors to Zamboni? Let me see if there are. Competitors to Zamboni. There's apparently not, because in South Korea they had, let's see. This is Wikipedia. They're usually referred to as Zambonis, regardless of brand. The first one was pioneered in 1949 in the city of Paramount. But God, we gotta know that story, right? All right, Zamboni was born in 1901 in Eureka, Utah, to Italian immigrants. His parents, his parents soon bought a farm, this is Wikipedia, in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, where he grew up. See, you know what? In 1920, he moved with his parents, all right, here we go, to the Harbor District of LA. Yeah, see, because Paramount is not that far from Long Beach. It's kind of like right in between LA and Long Beach, and off to the east a little bit. How far does the Harbor District, the harbor, go north of Long Beach? I wonder, I don't know. Where his older brother George was operating an auto repair shop. All right, so George was already here fixing cars, looks like, or repairing autos. Frank Zamboni is the guy. Attended a trade school in Chicago. And then they opened an electrical supply business in Hines, a suburb of LA called Hines, Hynes, but that's now part of Paramount. The following year, he married. I guess he got married early in those days. In 1927, he and Lawrence added an ice-making plant and entered the block ice business. They continued their ice business in 1939. So let's see, he was born in 1901, so he was 39. Saw a little future in that business because of refrigerators coming on the scene. They decided to use their excess refrigeration equipment to open an ice rink. Wow. In Paramount, California. LA is not someplace you would naturally assume somebody would build an ice rink. Wow. They opened the Iceland Rink, which proved very popular, and no small part because Frank had figured out a way to eliminate rippling caused by the pipes that were laid down to keep the rink frozen. So in the old school rinks, there were pipes underneath the surface, and they froze. The pipes were cold, which kept the ice frozen. Yeah, you can tell I'm not an engineer. The rink still operates. Oh, that might be really? Is it still called Iceland? See what's fun about these daily dose of Ditzels? Finding all that stuff out, man. Iceland Rink. Let's see. Iceland Rink Paramount. If it's still there, that might be a video. It's still there. Olympian Peggy Fleming once practiced at this rink. It's still... Oh, we gotta go. I've got my skates. This is a trip. This is a road trip. Wow, I'm amazed by all this, to be honest with you. I have no clue. I've never even heard of this Iceland. It looks pretty big, too. It is pretty big. Iceland. And they've updated it looks like. It's got an updated outside. Wow. All right. That's a video. We're going down there. We're going to shoot some GoPro footage. We're going to go down there. Be neat to interview somebody from the rink. Rink still operates and is still owned by the Zamboni family. I had no idea about any of this stuff. He attained a patent, good thinking, 1946, by which time he's what, 45, 46 years old? Then in 1949, he obtained a patent for the thing that stopped the rippling of this ice surface. So the guy was innovative and he was on top of his business game. Smart guy. Let's see. Yeah, he just looks like a dude from the 40s. He's got the old school glasses. Just looks like a regular dude. Then in 1949, he invented a machine that, transformed the job of resurfacing the ice to a one-man 15-minute job from a 90-minute job that took 5 guys. The initial machine included a hydraulic cylinder from an A-20 attack plane, a chassis from an oil derrick, an engine from an old Jeep, and a wooden bin that caught the ice shavings. Wow, look, his son said it took him 9 years. One of the reasons he stuck with it was that everyone told him he was crazy. Now, I like this guy. I've been through that myself. He's still doing comedy. Yes, I'm still doing comedy. If that's what you call it. Zamboni did not expect to make more. Oh, but after seeing the machine, Sonia Henny, who's wow, this is a great story. Sonia Henny, who lived from 1912 to 1969, she was a figure skater from Norway and a film star, 3-time Olympic champion. Wow, she won more Olympic and world titles than any other ladies figure skater. And then she went to Hollywood and starred in a series of box office hits. Thin Ice, My Lucky Star, Second Fiddle, and Sun Valley Serenade. Can you imagine? What a life. Died at the age of 57 during a flight from Paris to Oslo from leukemia. I thought they were going to say there was a plane crash. She died during the flight from leukemia. Wow. So Sonia Henny sees it and sees this Zamboni machine originally, and she bought it. She ordered 2. And then the Chicago Blackhawks placed an order. That is fantastic. How did the Blackhawks find out about it? And when did the Kings, the Kings way later, sorry. Kings were 1967, I think, right? Los Angeles Kings, see if I remember my Kings history. Yeah, team was founded on June 5th, 1967. This guy puts in a rink in, I mean, if you can imagine, I remember reading an interview with, what was the actress in True Lies? I'm blanking on her name. Let's see. True Lies movie. I know, you know what it is. I know what it is. It's just aging. Jamie Lee Curtis. So I heard this interview by Jamie Lee Curtis. She grew up here in LA. She said that it wasn't always, see now it's just when you come in on an airplane, you look down, it's just this expansive one city. But it wasn't always like that. When she was a kid, so I think she's my age. Let's see, let's do some basic. I think she's 59, so I'm 57, okay. So she was born in 1958. She said when she was a kid, they'd go for Sunday drives, and there was actual countryside between most of the suburbs that are now grown together into one amorphous blob we call LA. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you can imagine Paramount in 1949, that's out in the boonies. So this guy out in the boonies is creating the machine that basically revolutionizes ice resurfacing in the sport of hockey and ice skating. He's down there in Paramount, and somehow the Blackhawks find out about it and order one after Sonia Henning orders two. Wow. He applied for the patent in 1949. He got it in 1953. Set up the company, Frank J. Zamboni and Company in Paramount, to build and sell the machines. So by that time, let's see, 53, so he was 53 by then. Wow. Used to build them on top of old Jeep chassis. The demand was great enough, they added a second plant in Brantford, Ontario, of course that's in Canada, and an office in Switzerland. Though the term was trademarked, the Zamboni name is used like you might say Xerox, or it's become the generic use of any ice resurfacing machine. Are there any other ice resurfacers? Wow, this is a crazy story. In the 70s, he invented machines to remove water from outdoor artificial turf surfaces, remove paint stripes from the same artificial turf. This guy was, holy moly, and roll up and lay down artificial turf in domed stadiums. His final invention in 1983, so let's just make sure I'm doing this right. He was born in 1901, so he was 82 when he invented an automatic edger to remove ice buildup from the edges of rinks. So when you're playing hockey, the ice, the boards come, here's the ice surface, here's the board. Right down at the bottom, there's a sort of a lip of ice that builds up from the Zamboni. Wow. I'm just amazed by this. He died of cardiac arrest at 87. That's a pretty good run. 2 months after his wife's death. I think that happens a lot. I wonder if that happens a lot. That's what happened to my parents. My mom died, and 2 years later my dad died. So it wasn't 2 months like this, but I wonder if that happens a lot, where it seems like they almost can't live without the other person. You know what I mean? The Zamboni company has sold more than 10,000 machines. The 10,000th machine was delivered to the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens were my team since I was 6 years old. No, we moved to Canada and how old was I? I was probably seven years old, I think. The company is still owned and operated by the Zamboni family. I've been a Canadiens fan for 50 years. Oh my God. Man, I'm getting old. The company is still owned and operated by the Zamboni family. His remains are buried at All Souls Cemetery in Long Beach. We gotta go down there. This is a road trip. It's just down the road. Wow. I'm amazed. I didn't have any clue all this was going on down here in Southern California. You know how Google sometimes changes the name Google on the search engine page depending on what they're trying to commemorate? So I guess it says here on January 16, 2013, in honor of the 112th birthday of Zamboni, Google published, they call it a Google Doodle. Oh, sorry. It says the Doodle is a game where the player can clean the surface of a virtual ice rink using an ice resurfacer. I don't know if you remember this. I think you'd have to be an oldster like me, but in an episode of Cheers, Carla's hockey player husband Eddie was struck and killed by a Zamboni while still on the ice. It was so funny. In the movie Deadpool, he killed a member of one of the gangs with the Zamboni, calling him the Zamboni guy. This is all from Wikipedia. Bonus points. This is for oldsters, who was the actor that played Carla's hockey player husband on Cheers? Who was the comedian / actor? And I'll give you a clue. He just died and a couple years ago, or last year, 2017, at the age of 69. That's right, Jay Thomas. He was a longtime radio host and comedian. Really funny guy. Check out Jay Thomas interviews on the Letterman Show on YouTube. Before you do that, let me make sure that he's on there, so you're not wasting your time. I'm not here to waste your time, man. That's all we're doing right now in this video is wasting time. All right, let's see. Jay Thomas. Let's put in Letterman. Jay Thomas. That's all we're doing on this video is wasting time. Who am I kidding? This is probably why you're watching it. You're wasting time. Yeah, Jay Thomas on Letterman telling the Lone Ranger story. I think Letterman would make him repeat the story. I think he would tell it every year, maybe. Yeah, here's the Lone Ranger story 2012, 2014, 2009. I think that was part of the gag, that every year at Christmas, December 23rd, 2009. So I think that was part of the gag, is that he would have him do it every year or often, and always at Christmas, I think. It was pretty funny, but look it up online on YouTube. All right, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I'm excited about this. I grew up in Canada, and Zambonis, man, it was right here in California. All right, we're gonna check it out. That's gonna be a future video. See the things you learn from me, man. You wouldn't have known all that stuff, and I know that your life is measurably improved because I've shared this information with you.